Hello, everybody, and welcome to Connected Community Health Support. I am your host, Jacob Carroll, and I'll be here bringing you through day 105 of our 45-minute full body aerobic exercise training program. And I'm actually just noticing now that this is actually supposed to be day 106, so I apologize for the little incorrect information there to start things off. And I apologize. You may have noticed I put the delay up a little bit longer. I think there's actually 2 delays of the 1 minute to start time in this stream. And it's actually because right as the stream was starting, I accidentally deleted the exercise list for today's workout. So it needed a few seconds to type that back up. And if you can't tell, I might still be typing it up right now. But I will have that up in 1 second. But while I'm doing this, let me tell you a little bit about what is going on here at Connected Community Health Support. We are ambitious grad school friends, and we are trying to make health and fitness more accessible. And we're doing that through a variety of free and paid services, mostly free. And we're really just trying to, help people live a happier and healthier life through fitness. And one of the ways we're doing that is through this bodyweight exercise stream that can be done in the comfort of your own home with no equipment needed at all. Just 45 minutes today. We just moved in these 45-minute sessions. Previously, at a half hour last week, ramping up the intensity. We've kind of been progressing things over time here at Connected CHS. So, breaking into those 45-minute workouts and a little bit more intense. But, we also are going to have a little bit, better rest times and things coming up here. So, 45 seconds of work, 45 seconds of rest. So a little bit different from last week, but, overall longer workout. But you will have some longer rest periods as well. And I'm just putting up the last exercise here in the list. Again, I apologize. I accidentally deleted this literally right before the stream, before I got on. And last touches. Let's see if this works. Let's put that up there, and there we go. So there is the workout routine that I accidentally deleted, but it's up here now, and I already wasted a bunch of time. So we're going to get right into the warm-up here in a second. Again, just grabbing the timer here. But again, this workout for today, 45 seconds work, 45 seconds of rest. I'm just going to set up the timer here for everybody. And, this week we're talking about the social environmental pillar, talking a little bit about relationship health here today. And so we're going to do the same thing. Yesterday we brought a little bit of information about unhealthy relationships, some of those signs from the One Love Foundation. And now we're going to be breaking into some signs of a healthy relationship. We are going to touch a little bit about unhealthy relationships again to kind of draw some contrast. But, we're going to keep things mostly on the positive side for today. So that being said, we're going to hop right into the workout here. 5-minute warm-up. Get the body ready, head to toe, and then we'll start breaking into some of these more intense movements. So if you're ready with me, follow along with me, and I will guide you through the movements. So without further ado, let's get started. So first moves here in the warm-up, we're just going to start getting those arms swing a little bit. One of my favorite ways to start things off, going right arm over, left arm over. Notice I use these in the cool down a little bit as well. And just kind of getting the body ready, getting things moving, nothing too intense. A little bit of dynamic range of motion here. Now just keeping some swings going. All right, now let's start opening up the mid-back, still working on the shoulders as well with this one. So you're going to be bringing the arm up, big full arm circle, then right back up in front. Same thing with the other arm. And the goal here is you want to keep those hips facing forward, really get all that motion coming from the shoulder, coming from that mid-back of the thoracic spine. Awesome, great job, everybody. Just moving right along, got to make sure, really important muscle group here in this upper back and the shoulders. And same thing, be in this workout, we always hit full body movements. So we want to make sure that we are warming up the full body. All right, we're going to get a few more here. Shoulders starting to warm up a little bit. All right, shake that out a little bit. Let's start working on the hips. Maybe working with some leg swings here now. I'm just letting that leg swing like a pendulum. I know this one you see in here a lot here. I can actually see it just, but I think we all stand very firmly that this is a great move. I'm sorry, I've just needed to change this camera. I don't know why it's coming in so terribly. Hopefully that might be a little bit better. You know, it's like sometimes it's really dark, sometimes it's really bright. All right, let's get the other leg swinging now. Same thing, you don't got to get too crazy here with this one. Just kind of letting the hip go through its natural range of motion. All right, now that we were swinging it back and forth, we're going to do some swings out to the side. And then we're going to grab onto the wall. Show from the front so you can see a little bit. You don't have to use the wall, but, you know, getting that side of the glute, getting this abduction going with the hip. Same thing if you're doing a single leg, you're going to get a good amount of that single leg balance in here as well with this one. And same thing, we'll switch it over to the other side. Great job, everybody. Definitely feeling the glutes starting to get fired up here. Something that's going to be important with a lot of these lower body moves. Even some of our upper body ones, we're going to be holding that. Oh, I'm losing my balance. Really losing my balance. Maybe I should go back to the wall. But now we're going to be, even for some of those upper body ones, you might be holding that bottom position, which is really going to force you to get some stability to use the lower body to still find support even in some of these upper body moves. So hips feeling pretty good. We're just going to get a few more moves in here. We're going to get a new one in here, actually. This one I like to call a cat-cow. Great way to get some of the spine warmed up here. You can try this one from the ground. And so here you're going to be in an all-fours position. And same thing, this will be the, I think this is considered the cow. You're going to be pretty much keeping an arch in the back, looking up to the sky, and then moving that cow. You're going to start bringing the neck down, rounding out through the upper body, coasting through the back. And same thing, you're finishing in this cat position. Like when you see that scared cat with their back all the way hunched up, that's kind of that position you're getting to. So same thing from there, reversing it the other way. And let's just get a few reps here. Going from cat-cow, getting that spine moving. I like to say that we don't have all these multiple different vertebrae in our spine for a reason. You want to be able to have some type of movement through the spine. I know a lot of this is where, oh wow, that is loud. Let me turn that off real quick. But I know, good afternoon, Snug. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, as I was saying, there's a lot of blocks of the spine, a lot of different vertebrae here. And so same thing, like saying we have those vertebrae for a reason. We're supposed to be able to have some movement at each and one of those vertebrae. Not a ton of range of motion. And obviously some parts of your spine are going to kind of move as a block, such as your cervical spine, your lumbar spine, thoracic, and so forth. But same thing, we still want to have some control in the spine, get some of these things moving, and same thing. That can really get stiffened up, especially if you have a desk job or living a more sedentary lifestyle. So always good to kind of get some of that spinal movement in there. And great job with that one, everybody. We're going to move on to our last move. Let's just get the neck moving a little bit. And I promise we're going to get right into the workout. Now, a little bit longer warm-up today. Having a little bit of difficulties accidentally deleting the stream. So let's just get the head rolling a little bit here. Great job, everybody. Just getting that neck moving in the circle. I'm going to start rocking it the other way now. Same thing, you don't have to come down on the knees. This is just something I'm doing to make things a little bit easier to see. Looking over to the sides, looking up to the sky, back to the other shoulder. Just getting a few neck circles in here. And all right, neck's feeling good. Legs, upper body, all that good stuff feeling good. We're about to get right here into the workout. Last thing, just checking on something real quick. And all right, we are good to go. So that being said, 45 seconds worth, 45 seconds of rest. Snug, I know you're in here ready for this one. Come on. We're going to get through this one together. We're going to get a good workout. And we're going to go about the rest of our day feeling pretty good about ourselves. Because, same thing, this isn't an easy workout. I mean, you can modify and make it, but, we're still up. We're still getting active. We're still getting after it for 45 minutes. So let's see what we got today. 45 seconds of work, 45 seconds of rest. We got floor touches coming up first. Move. So quick demonstration before we get into it, because I know I'm running behind schedule. Reaching down to the ground. So you got to pick up that box like you're bending over to pick up something real heavy. I use that analogy all the time because you want to relate this movement to everyday life. So think about, how you pick something up with your legs when it's heavy, about how, you don't want to just bend over at the back and put all that pressure on your spine. You want to use the legs. You've probably heard all the time, lift with your legs. That's essentially what we want to do here with this floor touch and that deadlift. So let's get after it, everybody. We're going in 3, 2, 1. And I got to turn the timer on, but begin. All right, 45 seconds, come on. I'm reaching down to the ground to a comfortable position. If I go down any lower, I'm getting a little bit of bend here in the back. So same thing, you want to go that position that's comfortable for you. It's the first set. If you're not getting down super far, don't worry about it. Still might be warming up a little bit, still getting that pattern going. Same thing, another good way to help find that position. Let those hands slide right down the hips. You see, I'm in a pretty flat back position. I'm just resting my hands on my knees. Same thing, that could be a good way to kind of get into that pattern, reach down and say, oh, I'm getting a little bit of resistance, feeling kind of tight in the hamstrings, maybe right here. Then just come right back up. And done. Really good job with that one, everybody. Floor touches out the way. Row, fly, combo coming up next. But don't worry, you still got 35 seconds. So don't feel like you got to rush, get a drink, take a break, whatever you got to do. Maybe you got to do a few extra stretches. Who knows? We'll try to get a good warm-up in, but, everybody's different. But row, fly, combo. Bent over position. Same thing, you get that flat back. Then we're going row, arms up to the side, elbow height, and then out. So row, fly, and same thing. You can go one arm at a time. It can be pretty intense. Just holding that, supporting the body with the other arm. But get ready. We're going 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. Same thing if you're going with that row, fly. You want to find a good position where you feel comfortable, where you feel stable. You feel like nobody could push you over. That's a really good sense of full body stability here in this position. And the same thing, I'm kind of bopping up and down a little bit. I'm not staying completely still. A little bit of variability here in the stance. But, just trying to keep things going, moving right through. And same thing, this can be pretty intense on the leg. So do not feel bad by any means if you got to switch to the arm. Maybe you go one at a time. Maybe you're just taking a quick break here. Don't worry about it at all. Starting at 3, 2, 1, and done. Really good job there. We got D1 coming up next. I'm coming down to the ground. You don't have to by any means, though. This is just to make things easier to see for you all watching this live or recorded. So, I want to pretend like you're reaching in your pocket. Try to keep the body facing forward so you're not turning all the way, just reaching your arm across. So reach the arm in that pocket and come up thumb back to the wall like you're in a Y position. And same thing, going one arm at a time, just reaching over. Remember, trying to keep that body relatively still. I mean, a little bit of lean is fine, but you want to try to keep everything facing forward, just the arm reaching. 3, 2, 1, and begin. Opposite side, moving across. Same thing if you want to go double time, reach into the pocket with both arms and then move out. And the thing, one of the most important things here is when you're finishing up, thumbs back to the wall, finish up in this Y position. Definitely feel this one in the traps, in the back of the shoulders. Same thing, you might be getting a little bit of core stability in here too. I'll show from the side. Do the same thing. It might be an easy habit to feel like you want to go like this, bend back to bring your shoulders back. But you see, this is my shoulders would be. I'm getting that extra from my back. So same thing, try to keep it all shoulder. Try to keep the core still, just let the arms move. 3, 2, 1, and great job. A little bit of extra on that one, I apologize. Got a little bit behind because we were rambling too much. But coming up next, we got dead bug. We got a wall variation and a floor variation. I'm going to show the wall variation real quick. So you're going to be pressing into the wall, leaning forward a little bit. Then you're going opposite arm, opposite leg. So one knee up, opposite arm up. And same thing, I'm just showing it from here because you can't really see when I'm going from the wall. Or we could go with the same motion from the ground. Knees up like a shelf, palms up, same thing. And then it's that same thing. One leg coming down, one arm coming down. We're going in 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. I'm going to be demonstrating from the ground here. This is a little bit harder variation than the wall. And same thing, but there are ways to modify it. You can see this is me going into a full dead bug. I'm getting full range of motion, heel almost to the ground, arm all the way up. The same thing, you can also limit the range of motion. Maybe you're only going to here, bringing it halfway to the ground. The same thing, the further that leg is away from your body, the harder it's going to be to keep that core engaged. If you're going from the ground, you really want to make sure you're keeping that low back on the ground. Should feel it all in the core. Shouldn't feel too much in the lower back at all with this one. If you are, maybe bring that range of motion down. But 3, 2, 1, and we are done. Great job with that one. 4 exercises down. We got our squat pattern coming up. You got options again with this one. You got a few. We got lateral squats. Same thing, a little bit of a wider stance. Kind of going to be leaning over to one knee, like you're sitting in a chair with one leg kind of sliding into that chair. Again, I'll show from the side, leaning into that one side. Same thing, here's me doing a bilateral squat with both legs. Same pattern. I lean to this side, where they're coming down. It's just a little bit, same pattern, dropping vertically, but using the hips. Everybody get ready. We're going in 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. Almost forgot to say, you don't have to go lateral squat. This might be bothering the knees. Maybe it's just not feeling good. We can go bodyweight squats. These are going to still be pretty difficult for 45 seconds. And even so, another great variation of this, one of my favorites. Sit to stand. This is the same pattern as a squat. If it takes too long, we might reload the page. That is not good. Snug, please let me know if you're having any reception issues on your end. And I know you're in here for sure. Technical difficulties on my end. I'm not sure how that output is looking on yours, so please let me know. So again, multiple variations. If you're going from the wall, pushing into the wall, the harder it's going to be to push yourself off, the more chest muscles you're going to have to be on your back from the ground, kind of just clapping the hands together in the center. With this slide variation for this set, same thing. I highly encourage, especially in this 5-day, to the push-ups. They can be pretty intense. Those 45-second sets. Working with the flies here for this one. You still get that great range of motion, that movement Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you were, maybe you're doing push-ups from your knees or doing them from your toes, you know, for yes, like, you know, I don't want to do the flies. You know, maybe you usually do your pushes from your knees and you're going to go with the wall push-ups here because, you know, you just went pretty heavy on the push-ups the day before. So just want to give that variation out there for everybody. We got ITYs coming on up next. So ITYs, bent over position. When you're going to have to be strong in the glutes, strong in the core. Thumbs up. Thumbs in the right. On out to the side. Getting ready in 3, 2, 1. And let's be. Hands up. Moving through nice and smooth. All right, thumbs up. Thumbs up, back of the hands up. This and another one can be pretty intense on the lower body. It's an upper body move, but don't think we're not hitting the lower body here as well when you got to hold that position. You got to do what works for you. I promise I would stop saying that so much. I just can't help it. It's just some of the best advice. You always try to compare yourself, move how others are moving, but you know that's just not the way our bodies are designed. 2 people, same exact physical activity status, you know, same weight, same height, all the stuff. You have completely different movement patterns, just you know, based on anatomy, based on length, tension relationships in the muscles, things of that nature. I'll give you a little bit of heads up. This one you're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Or maybe you're going 1, 2, 3. So we're going 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And think of the balance part. Maybe you're feeling a little bit wobbly right here. We don't want anybody getting hurt. Completely natural. Feel a little bit unbalanced in that singular position, but if you're really worried about falling over, you can go grab onto the wall here. All that good stuff is still working. Just if you're going from the wall, but you're going to try to keep those legs chopping fast. 3, 2, 1. Squat. 1 time through in the books. Really great job, everybody. You know what that means. Back up. Still got 30 seconds. Really great first set. I'm feeling good already. I don't know, whatever term good and bad mean the same thing. You might be feeling tired. You might be feeling a little bit fatigued, but you know you're still going to be feeling bad and good at the same time. You're going to know you just made it through a good workout. All right, everybody, get strong. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and begin. Coming down to that distance that feels good for you. Same thing. I'm increasing my range of motion a little bit as I go. I feel like I'm getting in that first set. And same thing. This is a moving pattern that you are going to replicate. So that's why it's a big staple in our program to squat this hinge pattern. So important. What do you think you're doing? Oh, that's a single leg hinge right there. That's a single leg forward touch. So 3, 2, 1, and done. My point being there is that, you know, it's not a movement you're going to get away with not doing for the rest of your life. You're going to have to pick something up off the ground. At some point, you want to make sure you got a good pattern, you have good form, so you don't end up hurting your back. Because same thing, it's like, you know, going to pick up your shoe off the ground. You might not think about it. Bending at at the back. It's not like you're going to hurt yourself picking up a shoe. You know, you carry those patterns over then, you know, when you're moving out of your house. This, you want to have strong hips, strong core, have a good deadlift pattern. We got row fly coming up in 5 seconds. I was rambling the whole down. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Again, another key thing here. I say this a lot, but we don't want to be. See, keep working through that movement. But say when I'm right here, if I start bringing my elbows up here, you can see my front of the shoulder when I'm even with the shoulder level. If I start rolling up too far, you see the shoulder starts dumping down. You can get a lot of pressure here on the front side of the shoulder, and like these rows, keep getting activation here in the back. But as soon as I start going up, that pressure starts going to the front. Done with that. One of my pet peeves when it's coming to rows, when it's coming to back, too often you see in the gym. I mean, same thing. It's like you're gonna get a little bit more back activation by pulling these, you know, elbows back really far, but you're also going to be using significant loads like that. It's not saying that they can't, but you know, for overall. Why I'm not a big fan of dips is if you don't have that good shoulder range of motion, you're just cranking away at that anterior part of the shoulder. But enough about that. D1 is coming up in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I'm going both sides. Switch ones over every rep if you want. Doesn't really matter too much here. There we go. Finish strong. Now those shoulders might be burning here. 3. Good job here with that one. We got our dead bug coming on up. Remember, I demoed movements to pattern. There's a lot of coordination that goes on with this one between the lower body. Communicate between the lower and upper body through the core. So again, only bring that leg or arm down as far as you can, keep the low back on the ground. If you start going down, you find the low. We're going in 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. Same a good camera setup for me to demo that. Same thing with the push-ups from the wall. I was not really getting a great view of the exercise, just kind of looking at my butt. So we're gonna go with the ground variations for that. Here we go, 15 seconds. Exercise to go for 15 seconds. I do these all the time. This is still very challenging for me. And, probably in my top 10 most performance. That coordination aspect and the way it challenges the core. But you name it, your choice. I'm here to give you, you decide the option. I'm just here to guide you. You know, it's all on you. I'm not going to tell you what you should pick. Just find one that's going to challenge yourself. Good set. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I'm going to just work with super, super intense. But, in case we got anybody that's really feeling crazy today, we can get some jump squats as well. Same thing, don't suggest these if you're having some knee and ankle issues. And, for 45 seconds, that is, if you're really trying to get some good squat jumps and you're going for 45 seconds, years of training under your belt, that's still going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, and are done. Now we got push-ups, flies. Remember, flies, you can do these. If you can work very well from your back. Again, we got our push-up variations. You go from the like the couch, going to be a little bit harder than a wall, easier than going completely to the floor. From your knees, from your toes, or you can even just hold from your knees. Hopefully that wasn't too dark on the screen. Like we're going 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. Make sure you get a good, comfortable position with the hands and the wrists. That's why I was just I had to re-get the stance. Got 10 seconds. Push-up / fly is done. ITY coming next, and we got our bursts. So I don't care if you got to take a few exercise break. Doesn't matter. Finish strong. Come on, ITYs. So we got 20 seconds. Catch your breath. You go one at a time. Mix it up. You can go both. You can go slow and controlled. Really work on the form. I think that's what I'm feeling. 3, 2, 1. Same thing. We're going to bring down the intensity a little bit. I'm going to raise on my form. Hold at the top of those positions. Saying that you go slow and controlled. Give yourself a break. Whatever you got to do to get through this set. You got 10 more seconds though. Come on, finish this one strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3 bursts. So again, you can go from the wall to support or not. We want to tell you what's going to work for you. But 1, 2, 3. Same thing could be 1, 2, 3 up here. 1, 2, 3. A height that's comfortable, that's challenging. It's going to be the same thing. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. At the end, same thing, just showing that there's multiple ways to modify this. Maybe you say, I'm trying to catch my breath. That last set was pretty tough. I still want to get to the set, but I can't go at that pace. Hey, I'm going to work on hip height right here. I'm going to work on single leg balance. Maybe I'm going to work on getting more reps, but at a lower height. I think there's many options. I'm like not even in a pace right now. Great job. And hey, even if you are just moving your legs up and down, maybe hard to keep that pace. Balance to that. But great job, everybody. 2 rounds down. Thirds the way through. That's something to be proud of already as is. So if you can, that was 45 seconds apiece. You got 10 seconds to go, then we're going back. The floor touches. Don't make it too complicated. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. What I mean by that is, organize around the goal. That's why I always use pretend you're picking up that. That will really help with the coordination of this movement. Break it down into the simple goals of the task. There's 2 main goals. Keep the upper body still and bend at the lower body. So can you keep? Well, that's why I really love to use a broomstick, anything along the hole that you can kind of put. Oh, where am I breaking away from this pole? Can I still keep a flat back? Sorry, 3, 2, 1. Got some extra seconds there. I apologize. Very sorry on that one. Sometimes I'm getting carried away rambling tonight. Maybe had a little bit too much. Fly coming up very shortly. Not too shortly. We still got 20 seconds. Okay. Remember, row flies like we're talking about. Elbows all the way up here. Try to keep them tight to the body. Hug your side. Remember, don't go too much farther than even with the elbow or the shoulder. 3, 2, 1. I'm flying out to the side. We're moving, we're grooving. And same thing, this is another one. Maybe you want to really work on the form here and you're going nice, slow control, trying to find really good stability in the lower body. Trying to get to get a good workout. It's one thing I'm very stand on. If you weren't planning on working out today and you just showed up and you got something done, doesn't matter how much it was more than what you were planned on doing. Maybe it's more than one and done. Row fly done. D1 coming up. You still got 40 seconds. Oh, great. Another computer error here. Please tell me this is coming through right. All right. Anyways, think we're all right. What's on here? All right. I think we're good. D1 in 5, 4, 3, 1, and let's begin. So I was putting a pillow down under my knees. One arm at a time here. You can go both arms. Finals. Great job, everybody. Awesome job. 5, 4, 3, 2. I got dead bugs coming up next. I guess you could do this standing up as well. Maybe you just want to reach opposite arm. Demonstrate demonstration of how you do this, kind of driving into the wall a little bit. This is getting a little bit more similar to that first pattern because you're standing completely right side up. There's still a good variation. Maybe you don't have access to a wall. Maybe it's difficult again to and from the ground. Now 3, 2, 1, and begin. Same thing. I'm going opposite. The same thing. We want to still have options. Maybe those other variations aren't going to work. And hips, shoulder range of motion. Still a lot of good stuff happening with this one. Finish strong. Only 4 more moves after this. Go home stretch here for this exercise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Really, really good job. We got lateral squats, bodyweight squats. You're connected. CHS. So now that side squat, bodyweight squat here. Stand as well. Find a couch, find a chair. That's a good height. So 3, 2, 1, and begin. Good work, everybody. Remember, maybe it's feeling weird on the knees, feeling weird on the hips. No problem. You lateral squats if you got a chair, if you got a table or countertop that you can kind of hold onto. Sometimes having that little bit of support, something to kind of grab onto right here, so you're going a little bit more in control of the motion, can be a great strategy to modify. Exercises, push-ups or flies coming up next. Remember, your fly on the ground. Remember, push-up variations, wall, floor, elevated surface, knees, isometric holds, multiple options with this one. You still got about 20 seconds here, guys, so don't feel you got to rush down in the ground, get in the position. Warning here. So got 10 seconds. Maybe start thinking about getting yourself ready, because we're going to get after it here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. Here you go, 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. One last set of push-ups in the books. We have ITYs in 1, 2. Remember that ITY, you got options here. Don't forget that. The same thing last time was going a little bit more slow and controlled. And then up, in the T, back of the hands up. You are 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. Great work, everybody. 15 more seconds. Finish strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3 burst. Last but not least. Come on, let's catch your breath. Maybe you want to go up here. Don't leave too much in there. Maybe this is how you're ending. Maybe this is how you're starting to say. Maybe you're catching me on a lunch. This last move here. 10 seconds to go. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's begin. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Maybe you want to go faster. You're on this last set. Good work, everybody. This is just how I'm feeling like challenging myself in this last set. You got to pick what. Finish strong. 3, 2, 1. Great work, everybody. Way to finish with that one. Take a quick break. I'm going to get a quick drink myself. Be back in 30 seconds. All right, we're back. Quick drink. Now, get some of these arm swings in here. That dynamic range of motion. I think especially after all those push-ups, all those flies, you want to make sure stretching things out a bit here. A little bit restricted compared to when I started in those push-ups. Everybody, something to be proud of. Anything I'd say about these, give yourself a pat on the back, kind of giving yourself a hug with these ones. Great work, everybody. You're just going to kind of swing these from there. And great job. So, next, again, another classic here. CCHS Classics. Letting that hip do what it wants to do. I don't really have any specific focus with this one. I'm just swinging my leg back and forth. That's really all I'm focusing on. I'm not, so focused on keeping a completely straight leg. Where it feels natural. I know that's some vague instructions here, but that's kind of the best way I can say these. You don't want to be focusing on a very micro aspect of this movement. Some flexion, extension. Going back to the upper body a little bit. I want to just do some of these morning stretches. I'll stretch the arms up all the way to the top and then peel the elbows back get that good stretch in the same thing. I'm kind of just swinging them up nice and loose. Buddy. Get a few more of these. All right, now let's get some teeth spine openers. We're going to take the shoulder a little bit out of this one. So arms right out in front, just rotating back to the wall, getting some of that upper back movement. Another variation, if you want to try something from the ground, you can go into an all fours position. One head, elbow, and take up to the ground. One side at a time. All right. Now, let's get a little bit of knee and hamstring motion, and then that'll wrap things up. So if we're going for this knee extension, just like you're lightly kicking out the hamstring, kind of straighten out that quad a little bit. Great way. Kind of my preferred way of doing this, but since you got to do what works for you, you go from your back, and it's the same movement, just extending the knee. Just going to go work against gravity a little bit more here. Good job. Keep moving through that one. On your stomach, for some, there's going to be a standing variation. The same movement pattern as you're doing with just bringing the hamstrings up to the glute. And curling the heel up to the hamstring. Great job, everybody. The other one, a few reps here. About our social environment. So let's finish things off here. Let's get into and take some deep breaths into the nose and out through the mouth. Through the nose as well. Into the nose, out through the mouth. I want everyone to get at least 10 good deep. You don't want to be going through the rest of your day, so you know height after the workout. Remember, those gains happen during recovery, so you want to get yourself into that recovery state post workout. So keep breathing, and I'll talk about relationships we'll be talking about this week. Hello. Sorry, Mr. Fox just got here. And all right, let's talk about relationship. So what do we do there? We're still up. I think. So about unhealthy relationships, some of those signs that came from the One Love Foundation. Now, we're going to look a little bit to contribute to a healthy relationship. And this research is coming from Dr. John Gottman. He is a clinical psychologist and has been in the research of relationships for more than 40 years now. And he also does relationship counseling. MAN.com. So no endorsements there. I'm just giving credit. I'm not a psychologist, but I feel pretty comfortable disseminating some of the relationship. So John Gottman, he kind of classified couples as two things: healthy or regulated couples, or unhealthy or unregulated. Each of them. So when we're talking about healthy relationships, they believe that, both partners should lead to increased satisfaction for each other and as the couple and as a whole. And same thing as on the other side, an unhealthy or unregulated couple, lead to increased satisfaction and decreased satisfaction for each other. So that one might be a little bit self-explanatory. So I think we're going to be going into that in detail a little bit more here, breaking that down. So again, healthy relationship couples are also less likely to experience the which is to kind of return to homeostasis after some of these arguments and situations, because oftentimes it feels like it gets to a point where you can't recenter yourself after that. That's another sign of these relationships. Become emotionally overwhelmed in your relationship. You shouldn't get to that point where you're feeling like negatively contributing to each other, and obviously, like, same thing in the unhealthy relationship, you're more likely to experience that flooding of emotions and not being able to or that goes into it too. Another factor they identified in the research is that healthy couples primarily have a 5-to-1 ratio of positive to negative behaviors, and obviously that is much less in a more unhealthy couple. So example, joy, being responsive to each other's emotions, being able to talk about things in a positive way. And so they think those should be in a 5-to-1 ratio of negative behaviors, such as expressions of anger, contempt, disgust, feeling that you feel some of these negative behaviors or negative things are outweighing, some of these positive behaviors. Ratio. The same thing. It's not like things are going to be perfect hunky-dory all the time. But, you still got to be aware of that ratio. Are things leaning to one side over the other? Is this leaning to a more of an unhealthy standpoint than a healthy standpoint? Types of healthy relationships and types of mismatch or unregulated relationships, and the apocalypse. And we're breaking those a little bit. I want to keep this more on the positive end, but still want to touch base a little bit on the compare and contrast. So one type of healthy couple they've kind of classified is a validating couple. In one couple in an operative manner, they're exhibiting increased positive emotions and respect for each other's opinion. Huge conflict. Obviously, there might be conflict, differences in opinions, but it's more of a both parties working to try to work with these issues, not just one person being blamed for the other, and vice versa. It's further there's an emphasis on the we aspect, is that force them into making certain decisions. There can be open discussions and negotiation about these things blow over. Is a more volatile relationship, but we've got to break this down a little bit because we talked about being volatile. So the researchers say validating couples handle their differences in an open manner, but more emotions and attempt to kind of persuade their partner's opinion, and both are trying to that negative feelings are freely expressed. There's no remorse or negative. saying, I think I'm right in this situation. Or maybe they say, I think I'm right in this situation, but still coming to a point where it's not, it's not blaming in a sense. It's a sense of being able to talk things out. And at the end, they say, and so they make a difference in opinion, but, maybe they can still joke about it after they're kind of done. Or, being able to still express yourself in an open manner. Maybe it's getting a little fiery, but you're still able to realize things are, this is an argument about a small topic. And just to clarify, these are things of talking about these relationship. This is, maybe you're having an agreement on, a small aspect of the relationship and not open, a few days, still being able to kind of bring things back together. So a little bit confusing there. So, being able to still recover from that aspect. And another one, surprisingly, they actually have like a conflict avoiding. So it's not so necessary that you're, but being able to focus on the strengths, focus on their shared beliefs, of optimism. Maybe same thing, there's disagreement, and it's at a point where it's not heads on, but still being able to kind of, I don't want to say look past it, able to, be able to kind of be reaffirmed all the positives, having those positive work through those in those sense. Kind of to compare that, I know I'm going to be confusing, and so a mismatch or unregulated couple. Talking about this, it's ideal for, and let me break this down. So when people are having these conflict patterns and several problems arise, couples find themselves stuck and they feel like they can't resolve what caused both them emotional pains and leads to more negative ways of interacting. So same thing, you can stuck in their own way. They're not ground after the fact, and it's just leading to more and some characters that sometimes going more toward both individuals are exhibiting personal increased intensity in these conflicts as they go on. And they like to however, unregulated couples are going to keep seeing a relative increase in the amount of these damaged they're calling the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. They've been shown that the relationship is in a crisis and maybe so let's talk about some of those. One of those is criticism, and this is when there's a topic at hand, you're attacking someone's personality or character rather than the specific behavior that is usually accompanied with the blame. And so almost in the sense that it's rather a criticism than a complaint. It's not, we're not talking about this to try to work through it and get better. It's almost kind of, like we talked about yesterday, belittling and criticizing in a sense. Another one of these 4 horsemen of the apocalypse is and it's generally a stance of ward or deflecting that, the issue at hand. And instead blames the other partner for not somehow preventing the mistake, which is somehow there. It and saying, well, this happened because of this, not being able to take responsibility. And well, you did this, something that is a sign of forgiveness. Another one of these 4 horsemen. Third is, and verbal behavior that is trying to put oneself on a higher plane than the other. Again, this is kind of going on you're doing, kind of, deflecting that. And, they say the facial expressions of contempt, things that are, eye rolling, kind of, not trying to, I guess, acknowledge what the other partner is talking about in these situations. In unregulated couples, and essentially in zero happy relationships is what they got. And the last one here, I know we've been going a long while, is stonewalling / withdrawal. Physically or only shutting down from the interaction. Maybe sometimes you see the chance to try to work through it, kind of being stuck in your ways, believing you might think a certain way. A couple that lasts a fourth of the apocalypse, and how that kind of feeds into a negative relationship. We talked a lot about healthy and unhealthy relationships. These are more so aimed towards a romantic relationship. Again, it's a business partner, a good friend, maybe it's a family member, still not being able to have open minds positively, then you got to start awareness to these red flags and kind of being I think this could be a very difficult task, for anybody that's dealing with these situations. So something, it's not always going to be a decision you're going to be able to make overnight. We still got to be aware of some of these research statistics. Same thing if you're seeing some of these things like contempt, when a lot of this early on in your relationship, they're saying this is the single best predictor. You might want to consider and take everything into account of things that have happened in this relationship thus far. So to recap a little bit, main things: contributing other, and ideally this isn't a 5 ratio from good to bad, and not the other way around. We got to make sure you're putting your own happiness and your own feelings and things first, and at the end of the what's the best decision for you. And same thing, sometimes those are not mutual. The best decision might not be the one that makes you the happiest at the moment, but you still got to be weary of how things are moving, how things are going. Same thing, I try to keep though I know that was a lot. We're going to be clearing this up a little bit more in the blogs in the upcoming weeks, so stay tuned for that for sure. You want to learn a little bit about this, and same thing, want to shout out John Gottman. You can check out his page. He has a lot of research and resources. And stay tuned. We got Monday 7:30 with Seth Spicer, then Adam. He is going to surprise you Wednesday morning. Is it going to be environment? Is it going to be relationships? I don't know. Guess we'll find out Wednesday morning at 7:30. But again, I've been rambling for a lot here. It was a really great stream. Really enjoyed talking to you all today. I hope you a workout as well. I know I did. I'm feeling good. Hope you are as well. But on that note, more about us, check us out at connectedchs.com. You can also find all of our never miss a workout, so check us out, link tree in the bio. Just throw us a like, throw us a follow, and you'll never missed out on some of this research coming through and these tidbits at the end. But with that being great workout, and I hope you have a rest of the day, great rest of your week. I personally will not gonna have Adam. They're gonna bring you through a great workout. Remember, 7:30 a.m. 7:30, 12 o'clock, 5:30. We used to do them all day. We're probably still going to throw up a few at night, but we're actually realizing we've actually lost more followers than we've gained. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I think it's because we threw for a day. People think we're live, but we're not actually live. I know that can be a little bit confusing. So to clear up any confusion, we're going to Saturday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On that note, I've been rambling a lot. Thank you all again for being here, and I will catch up with you again shortly. Don't miss Seth tomorrow morning, 7:30. Hope you all have a great day. Jacob